So a few weeks ago my computer that I was using died basically. This has given me the opportunity to do a fresh build. So this will be the first video in this build, and this is going to be the case. This is a case bought from PC Look. I'll leave a link in the description. This is a 12 LED acrylic case. It's completely clear. So what I'll do now is I'll get this unboxed and we'll have a look at the parts.
Box, which is really well packaged, is several wiring harnesses, 4 parts which are top, bottom, front and rear panels, 2 side panels and 5 panels which make up the drive bays. In here we have all your screws, all your fixtures and things, the front panel, and under here is the rear plate, and a pair of gloves so you don't get finger marks on parts while you're building. There is also assembly instructions and a complete parts list. Okay, so we're going to follow the building instructions, and for part 1 you're going to need the bottom panel, the top panel, eight of these right angle parts, and 8 of the panel screws. So taking one of the panel screws and one of the right angles, these fit into the corners. Like so. Do this with all 4 corners. And exactly the same procedure on the top panel. Okay, for this next section we're going to need 8 panel screws and the 5 panels for the drive bays. There's 2 of each of these 2, and this single. This single we can discard for now because we're not going to need it yet. But we need 2 of each of these. This shorter one actually screws to the top panel. This longer one screws to the bottom panel. So we'll get that done. Okay, so next we're going to sort out the rear panel. For this you're going to need obviously the rear panel, the metal plate, the pack of screws for the plate, the power supply unit bracket, and 2 panel screws. Okay, so now we're going to fit the front circuit board into the front panel. Be sure you've got this the right way round. The top and bottom of this are beveled. It's just 3 of the standoff screws. Okay, so we're going to start fitting the panels together now. Fitting the rear panel, we're just using the normal panel screws. For the front panel, you need 4 of these thumb screws. Now these are just a panel screw with a plastic top on them, basically, so don't use a screwdriver on these. Next we've got these 4 little light strips. These fit to the backs of the drive bays, like so. They only fit one way, so you can't really go wrong. And the screws are a little awkward. Do the same for the other 3. Okay, so I'll quickly turn the case on its upside down, just so I can fit the feet on it. Now there's no markers for where these go, so it's your best judgment. They have a double-sided sticky pad on them, so it's just a matter of peel off the backing and find a position you like for them. Okay, so I'm going to fit the drive bay covers. Now I'm going to be using 2 of the 5 1/4 drive bays, so I'm going to leave them open. I'm going to put the covers in the rest. These use the plastic thumb screws that we used before for the front of the case. So don't use a screwdriver on these, otherwise you'll strip them. Being awkward.
and that's them done. So next we're going to do all the wiring. So this is just the speaker going in. Power for the front board. It's going to be really awkward. So the wiring is literally just plug and play. Nothing difficult. The one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to wire up the LEDs yet. I'm going to wait until my drives and my motherboard's in, so I can figure the easiest way to wire it without having wires just everywhere. Okay, so one of the last jobs is to fit the standoffs for the motherboard. You get 9 of these supplied and 9 of the screws. And it's just this is a really quick job. Now I'm not actually going to fit these side panels at the moment, so that I've got easy access for fitting my drives, and it'll be easier to fit the motherboard straight onto this and then put it onto the case. Links for all the parts that I use in this build will be in the description box. Also links for any videos that I use for reference. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.